Chapter 15 Purushottama Yoga Summary. Sri Krishna had enlightened Arjuna in the previous chapter that by transcending the effects of the three gunas, one can achieve the divine goal. He also declared that engaging in exclusive devotion is the best means of transcending beyond these gunas. Such devotion is practiced by detaching the mind from the world and attaching it to the God alone. Therefore, it is essential to understand both. He has already explained the nature of God in the previous chapters. In this chapter, he explains the material world graphically so that Arjuna can understand its nature and develop detachment from it. Sri Krishna compares the material world to an upside down Ashwatthaf tree. On the branches of this mysterious tree, the embodied souls wander up and down from lifetime after lifetime. They are unable to comprehend its origin, age, expanse, or how it continues to grow. However, as God is the source of this tree, its roots face upwards towards the sky. Its leaves are the fruitive activities defined in the Vedas. The three gunas irrigate this tree, which creates the objects of senses that are like the buds on the tree branches. These buds sprout aerial roots that further propagate this Ashwatha tree over a large area. By describing in detail the symbolism of the upside down tree, this chapter conveys the concept of how in ignorance of this tree of material existence, the embodied soul keeps growing their bondage in the material world. Sri Krishna declares that if we are searching for the Supreme Lord, then we must first cut this tree of material existence with the axe of detachment. Then we must look for its base, because the Supreme Lord Himself is the source of the material world as well. Once we find the source and surrender to Him, as advised in this chapter, we will reach the abode of God forever and never return to this material world. Sri Krishna then explains that as the souls are also His eternal fragments, they too are divine. However, they are under the influence of the material nature. Thus, they struggle with their six senses, including the mind. The embodied soul, ignorant of its divine nature, savors the material objects of the senses. He then describes the transfiguration of the soul to a new body at the time of death and how it carries with it the mind and senses from the present and the previous life. The ignorant can neither perceive the presence of the soul in the body when alive nor its departure upon death. However, the yogis see this process clearly with the eyes of knowledge and purity of their minds. Similarly, God is everywhere in His creation. One needs to use his eyes of knowledge to realize His presence. Lord Krishna reveals that by recognizing the glories of the God that shine forth all around us in this world, we can realize His existence. At the end of the chapter, he explains the term Kshar, Akshar and Purushottam. Kshar are the perishable beings residing in the material world. The liberated beings who live in the abode of God are called Akshar. The Supreme Divine Personality, who is the eternal source, sustainer and regulator of the entire world, is called Purushottam or God. He is transcendental to both imperishable and perishable beings. Therefore, we must worship God with complete surrender. Thank you. Jai Shri Krishna.